Hey, movie maniacs! Ever wonder what happens when a lonely outcast girl and a terrifying alien meet in the middle of nowhere? Get ready because today we're diving into a story packed with family drama, teenage angst, and a creature from the stars that will change everything. This is the full breakdown of a movie you won't forget. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on more epic explanations. Let's jump in. It's the dead of night, silent and still over the desert, until a massive object streaks across the sky and crashes with a devastating impact. A lone hunter and his dog witness the whole thing. The dog, absolutely terrified but driven by instinct, runs towards the site only to immediately bolt back, whimpering. A deep, guttural roar echoes through the darkness. The hunter raises his rifle ready, but his dog is already gone, fleeing in pure terror. Whatever landed out there, it's not friendly. Meet Renee. Her life is a mess. The first thing we see her do is cremate her dead pet lizard on the backyard grill. Not exactly a typical teenager's morning. She has to remind her mom, Linda, to drive her to the store for food for her other pet, a snake. Linda, who clearly doesn't approve of Renee's creepy animals, is already on edge. The tension gets even thicker when Linda's boyfriend Chase sits down for breakfast. Renee, ignoring him completely, gets a scolding from Chase for not saying good morning. In a furious act of rebellion, on the way out, Renee violently scratches up his van. High school is no better. Renee is a complete loner, constantly teased by the other kids. Lunchtime finds her sitting across from Gil, another outcast, but even he can't break through her protective wall of silence. Linda is late picking Renee out from school. When she finally asks about her daughter's day, Renee changes the subject, grilling her mother about why she skipped work. Renee, sensing the fight, tells Linda she needs to ditch Chase, pointing out he's a useless, drunk deadbeat. But Linda defends him, explaining she likes the feeling of being needed. It's a sad, complex portrait of a struggling family. Back home, Renee is surprisingly tender, playing the banjo and singing to her collection of pets, calling her snake her best friend, a depressing realization of her isolation. Dinner, however, explodes. Chase brings up the scratches on his van, indirectly blaming Renee. Linda quickly shuts him down, but the worst is yet to come. Chase complains about a smell, and Renee casually explains she was heating a dead rat for her snake in the microwave. Chase freaks out, calls it unsanitary, and then shockingly throws chips in Renee's face. Distraught, Renee runs outside, hearing her mother and Chase screaming at each other inside. Tired and heartbroken, Renee jumps on her ATV and drives into the desert to cry. That's when she discovers the hunter's overturned truck and a nearby crater. She turns and sees it, a massive, terrifying monster roaring. She runs for cover, and the creature tries to follow, but it's chained to the truck, thrashing and desperate to break free. It finally gives up, lying down, defeated, and clearly in pain, caught in the hunter's trap. In a moment of pure impulse, Renee ignores her fear, goes to the truck, and removes the chain. The creature screeches, and a panicked Renee races away on her ATV. Renee gets home to find Linda comforting Chase, which only fuels her annoyance. She decides to stay outside. The next morning, helicopters are buzzing everywhere. Renee, worried about the creature, spends her morning making a list of supplies to help it. She gets Gil to lend her his mom's video camera, bribing him with her English homework. Linda and Chase are waiting for her. Chase gives Renee a 24-hour sober coin, hoping to turn things around. Renee, sharp and unforgiving, points out he was drinking last night, making the whole gesture a lie. Chase, defeated, tells her he's trying and that she should try for her mother's sake. After he leaves, Linda confirms he's serious, but Renee just drops the coin. He didn't even apologize. Later, Renee sneaks into their room, stealing Chase's keys. When she opens his truck, she finds the sad evidence of his addiction, tiny vodka bottles, and a gun. She takes the gun, completing her mission. Back in the desert, Renee finds the creature in the crater using binoculars. She fires the gun to test it, that the beast doesn't even flinch. Renee sets up the camera and slowly approaches to cut the trap. The creature remains still, leading Renee to think it's dead. Suddenly, it tackles her, drooling on her head. After sniffing her, it backs away. Renee finally gets a clear look and confirms it. It's an alien. She tries to talk to it, offers it an apple, but the alien simply swats it away. That night, Renee goes to home and realizes she lost Chase's gun. She finds Chase drinking again, and he asks her to keep it a secret from Linda. Then, to her shock, the alien is in her bushes. She tries to shoo it away, but it won't go. She speeds off on her ATV to lead it back to the desert. The alien catches up and appears right in front of her, opening its mouth and sending out golden waves that wash over her face. Renee's body floats, her eyes glowing brightly. When she snaps out of it, it's morning, and the alien is asleep. She hugs it. She can't abandon it. She takes the alien home and hides it in the cellar. Renee plays hooky from school and names the alien Croak. She takes him into the house, gives him a tour, and introduces him to his pets, and has to stop him from eating them. When she sings and plays the banjo, Croak's scales shake. She guesses he's scared and promises to protect him. Linda returns early, depressed, Chase's 48-hour sober token photo, a painful reminder of her own struggle. Renee and Croak are watching TV when Linda opens the door. Panic. They sneak out as Linda notices the mess, takes her medicine, and tries to calm down. Meanwhile, Gil shows up for his camera. Linda lets him go to Renee's room, where he sees a picture of Renee's dead father and almost sniffs her pillow. Awkward. Renee leaves water for Croak and goes back to the house to face her angry mother, claiming she was sick. In her room, she finds that Gil has watched the video of Croak. She lies, saying it was a fake, but when she takes the camera, she realizes Gil has stolen the tape. They fight over it, but Linda interrupts, announcing she's leaving the door open. Gil demands the truth, or he's taking the tape to the police. Renee takes Gil to the cellar. Croak attempts to attack, but Renee teaches him Gil is a friend. Croak sniffs Gil, who immediately passes out and, wets his pants. When he wakes, Renee calms Croak by singing and making its scales shake, proving it's friendly. Gil gives the tape back and agrees to keep the secret. Unbeknownst to them, Agent Brown is spying on the whole exchange, taking pictures. That night, Renee bonds with Croak, playing the banjo and sharing stories about her late father. The next day, Gil has a Jurassic Park theory. Croak doesn't want to be fed like a pet, it wants to hunt. That evening, the teens take Croak to Hellhole Canyon. Gil brings pigs, and Croak finally eats. After the hunt, Croak brings a piece of the pig back to Renee. Renee tries to hug Gil, but Croak roars, keeping them separated. Back home, a drunk Chase grabs Renee by the hair and throws her onto the couch, demanding his gun. When Renee admits she lost it, Chase, simmering with rage, talks about how his father abused him in the name of teaching respect. Renee tries to run, but Chase captures her, so she bites his arm. He throws her against the wall, crawls on her, and starts choking her. Linda hears the screams and desperately pulls him away. Below, Croak hears everything and starts pounding on the cellar wall, shaking the entire house. Croak eventually stops. Linda, thinking it was an earthquake, absolutely unloads on Chase, finally breaking up with him and kicking him out. She even throws a beer bottle at the wall to force him to leave. Renee, too angry that her mother let it get this far, pretends to go to her room, but instead rushes to the cellar to calm Croak. She falls asleep there. The next morning, Agent Jonathan approaches Renee, showing his badge and the gun he found, registered to Chase but with Renee's fingerprints. He gives her a business card and a serious threat. Call him with the information he wants, or he'll be back with a warrant. Meanwhile, a plumber Linda called to fix a water issue goes down to the cellar and finds Croak. Panicked, he hits the alien with his tools, and Croak bites him. The terrified plumber speeds away, but distracted by the pain and fear, he crashes. Renee gets home and, in a screaming match, blames her mother for everything. Linda breaks down. Renee, realizing Croak broke the pipes, runs to the cellar, finding human blood, and noticing Croak is bleeding too. She tells him not to hurt people, finally accepting she can't keep him. Gil reveals Agent Brown has visited him, threatening his immigrant family, but he held strong. Renee decides to put Croak in Chase's van and take him to a safe reserve, meaning she'll have to run away with him. She leaves a letter for Linda and frees all her other pets. As Renee gets into the van, a drunken, armed Chase appears, dragging her out. He forces her and Linda to sit in the living room while he wallows in self-pity, then throws a table in a fit of anger. In the desert, agents find the box Renee hid Croak in. It's empty. Croak is running back to the house. Chase starts beating Linda, who tells Renee to run. Chase chases Renee and brutally smashes her face on the van before pointing the gun at her, blaming her for Linda not loving him. Suddenly, Croak tackles Chase, smashing him against the van and killing him. Renee tries to stop the alien, but Croak roars at her and runs off. Gil arrives and throws up at the sight of the body, telling Renee Croak is beyond saving, and admits he told the agents. Agent Jonathan appears and shoots out the ATV's tires. The whole team surrounds the house. Renee is tied to a chair, and a net is placed on her head, connecting her to a computer, confirming her intense bond with the alien. Jonathan tortures Renee, breaking her finger to make her scream. Croak hears her and runs back, walking right into a trap that continuously shocks it until it passes out. Jonathan knocks Renee out too. Sometime later, Croak is being moved to a government facility. Renee is woken up by Jonathan, and she spits in his face. He explains Croak is a beast, a reconnaissance tool sent by a far more intelligent life form, meaning an invasion is possible. Since Renee bonded with it, he wants her to let scientists study her to find the best way to kill them. If she doesn't comply, he'll have Linda institutionalized and extract the information by force. Linda visits, having read the letter, and tearfully apologizes. After she leaves, Renee makes a choice. She repeats Jonathan's torture, screaming at him and biting him when he rushes in. Croak, hearing her scream, breaks free from its platform, killing every guard in its path. Linda, locked in, escapes through the vents, horrified by the carnage. Jonathan and Brown prepare their weapons, but Croak bursts in, knocking them out. Croak is about to kill them, but Renee convinces it not to. She frees herself, and they escape. Outside, Jonathan catches up and opens fire. Gil, who has been waiting, yells a warning just in time. Renee and Croak hide behind a car. Jonathan keeps shooting, not caring if he hits Renee. Croak, desperate to protect her, steps out, taking multiple shots. Croak tackles Jonathan and kills him, but falls, dead. Renee runs to her friend's side, breaking down. Linda and Gil comfort her. Sometime later, Linda, Renee, and Gil are having a picnic, a quiet moment of healing. Meanwhile, in a government lab, scientists are studying Croak's body. Suddenly, Croak wakes up. Wait, what? That ending changes everything. What do you think will happen next? Let us know in the comments. If you were hooked by this epic story, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more movie breakdowns just like this one. Thanks for watching.